that a purple shirt?
I don't know what color this is.
Looks purple. It's
It's
nice.
a maroon, I think.
I don't think it's maroon.
That's how you start yet another episode of the AOA podcast. Frankie C is here.
What's happening?
Talking about Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito once again.
Really?
Back in the news. Yeah. Little update. Want to share with everybody. I think it's important. Plus, Donald Trump reinstated by Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. We'll talk about that. Jeremy Renner is a real life hero. We now know why he got caught under the snowplow.
Yeah.
By the way,
Big
this
news
is
there. That's sign language for snowplow.
Snowplow.
It's news to them.
Move on. There's a snowplow coming. Classified documents are just everywhere. Okay. Should Jennifer Garner be jealous of J-Lo? Say that 5 times fast. Jeff Bezos' girlfriend missed out on The View. We just learned that. Ticketmaster's a scam. And Newsmax was just dropped by AT&T. Plus, there's a catastrophic event coming in 2 years, Frank.
2 years? We got 2 years left?
Just about 2 years.
Is it as catastrophic as the 2 minutes it took you to try and spell catastrophic before the show started?
Catastrophic, not catastrophic.
It's a strophic on a cat.
My father must be kicking himself for paying for my college education. I'll tell you what, that's a scam.
Yeah, I think he's still paying for it.
Yeah.
We went to different colleges.
Yes.
My college, a fraction of what your college costs.
Ridiculous.
And here we are doing the same, generally the same thing.
Sitting next to each other in the same freaking chair.
Yeah, you got hosed on that one.
Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I would have just gone to your college. I think that would have been the move.
I was happy with it.
Your college had the better college radio station, actually.
Yeah.
And wound up having the better one. It's got the better one now. It's like super like.
And I went to the same college as one Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah, you and Jerry Seinfeld.
That's true.
How about that?
What's the deal? All right. What's going on here now?
Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito. Of course, everybody knows the tragic story. We covered it quite a bit. And that's why I wanted to kind of touch back on it, because there is a little bit of an update. Gabby Petito's family suing the Laundrie family, obviously for wrongful death. They're in the midst of all of that. The latest development here, Frankie, see, it's a quick one, not a huge thing, but quick. The Laundrie family attorney, Steve Bertolino, who was the one who kind of like gave all those updates at the time when Brian was missing. We talked about him a bunch. He just got added to the lawsuit as a defendant. So
the lawyer.
The lawyer did. Yeah, because basically what a Florida judge determined was he was in it. He was just as involved. He was there talking to the FBI, stalling them, talking to the media, stalling. He was basically stalling everybody. And
so are they saying like he aided?
He aided
the problem. Yeah, okay. He aided the hiding of Brian and the truth. He basically covered up.
Basically, yeah. That's what they're saying. So now he's going to have to be a defendant just as much as the Laundrie family, who obviously, like I said, caught everybody up, kept everybody delayed, and let their son escape. Which,
I think it's all a matter of how much they knew, when they knew it,
right,
and what they didn't tell anybody.
Because you have to ask him the same things. Like, obviously, Brian was there in the house, and then he took off. The lawyer, obviously, like the FBI went there, and they went to go speak to him, and the lawyer, bought him some time. Was that enough time to escape? All that stuff is going to be a part of this court case, and is going to, determine whether or not, they were.
There's got to be a time. It's all about the timeline, I think. When they knew that Brian Laundrie did what he did, and did they know where he was going, and how did they know what exactly happened before the rest of the world found out and the authorities?
Yeah. Which made me think of the question. I feel like we talked about this, but what would you rather? Let's say, all right, you don't have a son. Let's say your brother killed somebody. Would you rather he be dead, or would you rather he be in jail for the rest of his life?
Jail.
I think you got to say jail.
Yeah.
Like even if it was really bad, like Brian, like I mean, even Brian Laundrie's parents were probably like, "Shit,
Yeah,
you
no,
really."
it's bad. It's bad. Um, but I'm
Is
sure
it
they didn't
easier
want
for
their.
closure's sake to just be like, for it to end the way it ended for him, and they don't have to like,
I don't think it's ever easy for any parent to lose their kid,
mm,
no matter the case of that. But you got to think of the Petito family, the way they lost their daughter. That's
that's
you know,
awful.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, she had no choice in the matter. Um, Brian took it upon himself to do what he did.
What's weird is the closest thing to having your child ripped from you is having your child do something insanely stupid. Like that's like having your child getting killed, bad. I say the second thing underneath that is having your child kill somebody. I feel like that's the second
Yeah,
worst thing.
yeah. I mean, that's bad too. I mean, you gotta, but it has to be like, did he kill someone? Like, if your child killed someone out of self defense, not
Oh,
as bad.
no,
You
not
know,
as bad.
if they're just a cold blooded murderer,
Right.
then that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
If your child is Jeffrey Dahmer, then yeah, it's pretty bad.
That is super bad.
Yeah,
Which was a great movie, coincidentally.
super bad.
Mhm. Um, Bartolino told Fox News Digital the decision was not unexpected. This incident, like all others, will work out in the end, one way or the other. Quite a statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's the old. We got to support the team.
Yeah.
Got to score some more points. Is the point of that whole thing? Just got to play like we wanted, 110%. You know.
I kind of read that as shit. I don't fucking know. Like,
Yeah, it's well, it's gonna play out one way or another. Yeah, we all know that.
yeah.
That's the way things go. It plays out. But
Because I think most lawyers in those situations are kind of like, okay, we're going to go talk to the cops. Like everybody, who knows if he got the rug pulled over his eyes as well, or if he was a little in on it too. I don't really know.
who knows? I'm sure there's like that whole. He'll probably go with the whole lawyer confidentiality thing.
Which basically is now out the door because with this decision, you can't do that anymore.
What do you mean?
Like he's a defendant now. He's not their lawyer anymore.
But he's still a lawyer, and his client at the time.
All that
If
gets
he's
tossed.
how could that be? So anything that was said to him in the confines of them being of him being their lawyer is could be out in the open.
Yeah, because now he's a defendant. Remember, that's how they got John Gotti. Remember that? John Gotti's lawyer kept beating the system, beating the system, beating the system. And then the last time around, I forget what the whole thing was, but they basically kind of like, well, he's been talking to everybody and it's not, you know, lawyer confidentiality because he's kind of in on it. They could be discussing crimes and so on and so forth. And he got tossed off the case, and then his replacement couldn't hang, and that's why
Yeah,
he
I
lost.
guess if you're discussing that's yeah, I'm sure that's what he'll argue. Listen, this was my client. He was talking to me about this and that, and we were trying to work a defense and this. I don't know. But yeah, I guess you're right. It'll probably be thrown out, and everything's going to be on the table.
Yeah, we shall see. Exciting stuff. Don't forget to become a member. That's very important. I feel like we haven't been talking about memberships, Frankie C. It is
I
a big
forgot.
deal.
Yeah, got to become a member. The join button is down below if you're on YouTube. Just click on join. There's 3 different levels.
Mhm.
Choose the one that's right for you. It's all good stuff. We got a lot of members in the chat right now. Paul, Raven. Let's see who else we got. Look it up here. Paul.
Quote the Raven. Paul some
Quote the
more.
Raven. Yep. Nacho Fishho is in the chat. Another one of Bird is in the chat.
Bird in
Guys
the
are
house.
all members, and we appreciate it. Yep. So thank you very much, and anybody else who's not a member, thank you for being there with us. Just
Appreciate
hanging
that
out with
as
us
always.
is pretty cool. But yeah, once again, become a member. It's all good.
We'll have a chance to hang out with President Trump again because Facebook and Instagram announced today that they will be reinstating his account after 2 years.
Did they say why? Aren't there like conditions though? He's back on, but there are some rules he has to follow that are. special?
Uh,
I'm not really sure.
when asked why, Facebook and Instagram responded with, "Things are pretty slow.
Ah, got it.
I'm gonna kick it up a little bit."
This will be good for membership. I got it. All right.
Yeah, yeah, we're dying here. You know,
I like to know
fucking.
who the like if you're not on Facebook right now, what him coming back going to be like, all right, now I'll get on Facebook. Like who's I feel like you're either on Facebook or you're not, and there's very little that changes that.
You know what I love about, you know what I love about that though? Like everybody has their social media. Like there's
Yeah.
Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's YouTube. You ask any given person, like, "Hey, what's your go-to?" Like when
Mhm.
you settle down at the end of the day and you pick up that phone, it's the first thing you go to. Everybody's got a different answer. What's the first thing you go to?
I usually check 3 of them, but I don't know. There's no real order. It's between Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I check all 3.
You check all three, but you don't have like a go-to one. Like this is I gotta check this every day. I got
I
or this
check.
is the
Well, I
first
check.
one.
Well, I did 3. I do the 3 of them, and I check the 3 for different reasons. Like
Me too.
Facebook is for family and friends are on
Okay,
there
I have different
for the most part. There's other things on there too.
stalking ex-girlfriends. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Twitter is for, I check on politics and the fans are following stuff like that. YouTube, same, but YouTube, I go on for like to be a observer. I watch videos and listen to music and stuff. And Instagram, I guess pop culture stuff, celebrity things, mostly.
What celebrity you following on Instagram?
All of them.
All of them?
Every one of them.
Are you like following like People Magazine and you just get all the news, that kind of
I
thing?
don't know. Sometimes, but then, individual celebrities. I follow the same ones on Twitter, but I feel like celebrities have been posting more on Instagram lately.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
So it's just a mishmash of all 3.
I'm the same way. I go to Twitter for news,
Yeah.
for sure. Just Twitter for Bird. By the way, I also saw Bird went roller skating the other day. That was very interesting.
Oh, stalking bird, are you?
Got a roller. Well, it came on my feed, but I got a roller skating picture from Bird. And
Bird on wheels.
what was weird was I instantly, as soon as I looked at the picture, I instantly smelled the roller skating place where we grew up.
Oh, yeah. I think that place closed down, but yeah.
Yeah. It's like a
It had
combination
carpet
of
on the walls.
carpet on the walls, rubber hitting the wood floor, and really bad pizza. That was like that
And those
distinct,
arcade games.
unique smell. Yeah.
I remember the Ninja Turtles arcade game. That was great.
The Ninja Turtle arcade game was crazy good.
That was the only one I remember from that place.
What was the best arcade game of all time? I gotta say, I gotta go Street Fighter.
I mean, all time. We're talking all time. I'd have to go like old school, like either like Pac-Man or
Yeah.
what's the like Space Invaders, stuff like that.
Better than like Street Fighter or
Mortal
the Ninja
Kombat.
Turtle
Yeah,
one.
those are great too.
Mortal Kombat was huge.
But those they're great on arcade, but I'd rather play them probably, handheld joystick, at home. Not if I'm doing a stand-up arcade. The best ones are probably the old school Atari ones. Yeah, Mortal Kombat's a great one.
No, I mean like you played like in the arcade.
Yeah.
Like what's
I always
weird is like Mario is like maybe one of the greatest video games of all time, but that wasn't
you can't
really an
play that in
arcade
the
game.
No,
Yeah.
you can't play that in the arcade. I always like the ones with the guns. Anything that had a gun and a big screen.
Yeah.
Those were always fun. Like you're walking through a thing and the zombies or something, or dinosaurs coming at you. Frogger's a great one.
Those were always good. Frogger was good.
See, Dig Dug. These are all old school. They're great.
Dig Dug is super old school. I do miss I wonder if everybody had this. I would imagine that they did, or if this was just a New York thing, but we used to have, for a little while, I think it still kind of exists, but not really, but we used to have like video game party stores where like you would buy out the store and all the games were free. and you would just run around and play the games. That was like a
Well,
thing
like an
for us for a little
arcade.
bit.
It was like an arcade place. It
It
wasn't
was
a
like,
video game
yeah,
store.
but so today though, like they have like not Dick's, Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
But you need like a card and it costs all the kids money. It was all the games were like free. Like every
Well,
game
yeah.
you
Well,
just
if you
played
had
for
a
2 hours.
party, I think if you had a party, they probably just opened the games up for you. But if you just showed up there just to play, you'd have to pump quarters into it or whatever.
But it was smaller than like a Dave and Buster's is huge and
Yeah,
like
no,
people are
that's
there.
yeah.
This
Dave
was
and
like it
Buster's
was just
is
the one party at the one time, and then the
yeah.
next party came in after. I don't think they have that anymore.
No, I mean, I went. It's funny. Earlier this last year, in 2022, I went to a birthday party for a friend that was at a Dave and Buster's, and they had. It was. I felt like a kid again. They gave us cards, and we played all these games, and we were out there for like 2 hours. We were playing skee ball. It was crazy. I haven't done that in years, and she had a big party at this place.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just got I got to go to father daughter dance this weekend.
Oh, wait, you
Yeah.
have to go this weekend, or you went?
No, I have to go.
You're going this
I'm
weekend.
going this
Okay.
weekend. And then they just got a thing from the PTA that it's Father Sunday, the next Sunday, and it's going to be 2 hours at Dave and Buster's.
So is it Father Sunday Sunday or Father Sunday?
Father Sunday. Yeah.
That's weird.
And I was all
That's
hyped
good,
for it.
though.
I'm like, this is actually like, I like father daughter dance. Listen, it's adorable. It's cute. For the most part, like she runs around and has fun, and I have to stand there and make small talk with other dads that also don't want to be there.
Right.
There's no alcohol. It's the food's, so it's not the most enjoyable. Like, okay, we're making a core memory with the kid. I like that part of it, obviously, but other than that, very not great. 2 hours at Dave and Buster's. On the other hand, I am kind of excited because
That's
you
amazing.
can really just be a little kid there again. You know?
Yeah. No, it's cool. We went there. It's just they have a lot of the old games. The skee ball. They had some of the Atari games like in one corner where you could play
Really?
Tetris, Pac-Man, and stuff. And then they have all these new games. They actually I didn't get to play it, but they have this virtual reality. You put the helmet on, you grab the things, and you're in like there's like the screen that everybody could see, and then you're in there playing. It was I think it was the Star Wars one. I didn't get to play it. I didn't really want to play it because it was like a public used headset thing. I was like, I'll skip
Yeah,
that.
that's a little schivo.
Yeah, but otherwise, everything was pretty cool.
Hmm.
So have fun with that.
Yeah, I'm excited. But here's the downside of it though. I'm like, I'm fucking pumped. My wife was like, all right, we'll sign you up. And then I reread the thing and I was like, oh my God, it's 9 to 11. Like, you gotta be there at 9 o'clock in the morning
AM.
on a Sunday. That's early.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
early.
early.
Plus side is though, you're home before noon, and you crash.
But then they go like this. I think it was like $30 or something, or $50. And it's like a little food and everything, and then you get like a $15 card. And I'm like, that is maybe 7 minutes tops.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's gonna last. Although, when I had the party at Dave and Buster's, she gave us $25 cards, and that lasted, believe it or not, it lasted maybe an hour.
Really?
Yeah, it was because I don't know what they're charging with these games, but I guess they weren't that expensive. You just keep swiping the card until it says no more, and we kept going for a while. I don't even remember if we refilled the card. I think we just used the card, and that may have been it for like an hour and a half.
Because I told my wife, that's a $200 day. Like, there's just no way. Like, we're not
would
gonna
think.
like.
You would think, but I'm not sure. I mean, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
Usually, if you go to like a street fair or something, it's like $5 a game, and you're like, holy crap! You burn through $50 in 10 minutes, and it's like, all right, this is insane. And maybe you get one prize.
One of the movie theaters by us has like a little arcade room, and it's like the Ninja Turtle game. It's like a Jurassic Park shooting game. There's like a couple of games. The problem is there is one of the little hook games, which I'm fucking addicted to. I'll run through $60 in 20 minutes.
For what though? What's in there?
It's just everything. There's air hockey, which is fun to play with the kid.
What are you trying to claw out of the machine?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't even matter. It's like stupid.
Has anybody ever won? You know those games that have like they have like an iPad and a phone and all these crazy gadgets in there that you think, well, I put $1 in, I'm gonna win this thing. Has anybody ever won any of those things?
I saw a dude
I'd love
on
to know.
TikTok that won like 3 in a row.
Is that like legit though?
I don't know. No idea.
I see things on like I see those quick videos that have like those stacks of coins that are in those moving machines, and they knock them all over. They end up winning thousands. It's like that has to be a setup.
When I watched it, I thought the same thing too. Like, I wonder if this was just busted, and this guy hit it 3 times in a row, and now he looks like this genius. You know?
Either that, or it's not. It's like not even in a place that's maybe just his game, or he works at the place and he's just recording himself play it.
Like he might have worked. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, he might have worked. It was definitely out of place, but he might have been messing with it. I don't know.
Yeah, he could have rigged it to win. Won the hook game, got a stuffed animal. Yeah, you win stuffed animals. I've never seen anybody win. There's like a stack of money, or these crazy gadgets, GPS thing. You know, they're all like sitting there, like, oh wow, if I could put $1 in and get the key goes into the thing and it turns. And
yeah, the key one.
Who's winning that? Who's winning that?
I don't know, because it never stops when you want it to. When you press the button to push it forward, it never. The timing's always off.
Of course it is. It's a computer. It's gonna be fixed to win when it's gonna win. It's not gonna, if you get close, it's gonna just a little off.
Yeah.
When it wants to, when it's set to win, it'll win. Like a what's it called?
Like a slot machine.
Yeah.
Snowmobile.
Backwards is slot machine.
Forward,
this is snowmobile, slot machine. Coming up with our own version of sign language.
Anyway.
Yeah, so Trump's back on Facebook. Is he going to go back? Do we know?
Well, that's the question. Is he going to go back? And he already announced, which is funny too, because he just wants to be a part of this whole conversation again.
Oh,
because he announced
left out.
From Truth Social, he responded by saying, Facebook, which has lost billions of dollars in value since deplatforming your favorite president, me, has just announced.
Thanks for reminding us.
That was my favorite part. Has just announced that they are reinstating my account. Such a thing should never again happen to a sitting president or anybody else who is not deserving of retribution. Thank you to Truth Social for doing such an incredible job. Your growth is outstanding and future unlimited. So he didn't say he was coming. He didn't say he was not coming. Took a shot at Facebook, thanked Truth Social, and he moved on. So
yeah, I guess starting an insurrection against your country, there's no repercussions for that. Apparently.
Yeah, I think he comes back, but I don't think he comes back now. I think he comes back and
closer to
yeah.
He's got to come back close to when he starts running.
That's when he's really going to need it.
Yeah.
That's when he's really going to need it. But I don't know if
I love how all the people who carried out the insurrection are getting locked up, but the people who started it, no problem.
They get the pass.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. It's a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah. A little weird.
And nothing ever really happened. Remember we did the whole thing, the investigation, all the stuff. And they recommended that there should be a thing, and then
they recommended to the special counsel. The special counsel is now taking it over, and God knows when we'll hear back from that.
But I know. Who knows if we'll ever hear back from that? I highly doubt it.
Right. No, there's never any repercussions.
All the politicians were shitting themselves because they were getting kicked off of committees, and I don't care.
Yeah, but then
I don't care.
Then they conned McCarthy into. Oh, we'll make you speaker, but you got to put us on these committees. So,
that was happening.
And they're getting there on their committees now.
But they moved Schiff off.
Yeah,
they moved Schiff off of something, and he's all pissy. I don't care. I can't care less.
I mean,
it's all bullshit. Who doesn't?
What boggles my mind is the people that they got on these committees. The conspiracy theorists are on the Homeland Security committees, the ones that are like 9/11. Never really happened the way they told you it happened, but put me on the Homeland Security thing. Yeah, you deserve to go on Homeland Security.
Mm. And George Santos is he's just fucking trucking
just riding along. Nothing.
By the way,
him.
Paul sent me a video of George Santos in drag. I probably would have made out with George Santos. I mean, what are you gonna do? You get a little fucking drunk, you make out with a cross-dresser. That shit happens all the time. Everybody up on that fucking thing, every one of them, I was like, I could have been. It would have been. I said to myself, I go, how many drinks until I made out with these people? It was probably 5.
On what thing?
Like the clip that Paul sent me was like they were all up on a balcony, fucking dancing around, bunch of drag queens.
I see. Back in the Anthony hits the town days.
When Anthony was hitting the town, he was, I get it. People blow people.
People blow people.
Yeah, there. I don't know if you can see, but there he is, like a red dress. There, they're all fucking dancing around.
There he goes.
There, like, and George is a little thicker. Brunette. Look at you're not gonna make out with these people.
See, this is what boggles my mind. How could you be a Republican and be like, you want to take away all kinds of rights for people, but not when it comes to you?
Well, mostly they want to take away women's rights, which is okay with George.
Right. Women's rights, trans rights.
Just because you dress like a woman doesn't mean that you think women should have rights.
Oh,
and also, Frank, remember, not everybody agrees on that. You don't have to agree with everything that Republicans agree on. Like, just because someone says they're Republican doesn't mean that they have to believe in everything across the board.
We'll see when they vote. What?
No, that doesn't mean anything.
No, Frank does.
No, we'll see. We'll see.
Frank believes in everything that Democrats believe.
No, that's not true. It's not 100% true. But I got to tell you, nowadays it's mostly Democrat because Republicans point to one thing that I could get on their side with, and I can't find it. So I can't find one thing on the Republican side that I'm like, sounds great.
You can't get behind George Santos. He's fucking fantastic. Oh, you know what I was going to say though? His opponent was gay. That was like the first race where both candidates were gay, and they chose the gay Republican.
Is he gay?
Who is Santos?
Oh, if he hasn't had a cock in or around his mouth, no one has then.
Yeah, no, he was married. We talked about this last episode. He was married to a woman and asked an 18-year-old if he would marry him 3 times, and the kid said no every time. And then Santos sent out a message on Facebook to all his friends, "Come over for our fucking engagement party."
Oh God, that's embarrassing.
How is this guy elected to anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
Such a lying piece of it. Just doesn't make sense.
What I find particularly beautiful about this whole scenario is we literally do not have a mechanism in place where you could remove somebody from Congress for being this much of a fat, bold-faced liar. There is nothing in place that allows that to happen.
So this means I could just run for whatever office, tell everybody anything they just wanted to hear, no matter what kind of crazy lie it is, and then when I get into office, just say, "Oh yeah, all that was bullshit." Everything I said, bullshit, but I still have the job, so go screw yourself.
To be fair, it wasn't just anybody. It was people who live in Nassau County and parts of Queens. So they're going to fall for a lot.
I'm blaming that on Frank then.
Nope, I didn't vote for him.
Is he are you in his district?
I have no idea.
No, I think he's like near like Great Neck.
I think he's north. I think Frank lives south.
Well, I stand by. I didn't vote for him. I
still
didn't vote for him.
The Nassau
Frank voted
County
for him, everyone. Frank voted for him.
No, I voted all Democrat.
But the Nassau County, here's what I love about the Nassau County people. They're like, if we have to vote for a gay person, we'll at least let them be the Republicans. That's literally how they decided this race.
You think that's what they did?
100%. 100%. Every person in Nassau County looked at that ballot and goes, well, I guess if we can only decide between gay people, let's just pick the gay Republican. It's like the closest thing to us in that whole scenario.
That's such a weird, I feel like that's almost an oxymoron, a gay Republican. Republicans,
Frank,
for the most part. Stop
They
what?
do not, because that is
They
like,
want to take away gay rights is the next thing. They want to make it so that gay people can't get married. That's
first
the
of
next thing.
all,
That's what they
you
want.
know what okay.
It's not what they want.
Hold
Not
on,
every
gay people can get
Republican.
married.
Not every Republican, but the party and most of them in office. That's the next. That's what they're going after.
Yeah, that's true. You say
The
all
old white
Republicans,
men.
but
What do you expect? What do you expect?
it's mostly just the
Humanity?
Republicans who run the country and who are sitting on the
That's
Supreme
what
Court.
that's what I mean when I say Republicans. I mean
Oh.
ones in
Here's the thing,
government.
though, and I really truly believe this. I believe that
And the gay ones.
that they want to keep up this persona. And yeah, I'm sure there's people who don't believe in gay marriage, but I believe that there's people who for one, if they're Republicans or Democrats, they're just going to vote for their party no matter what.
Well, that's sad.
That's you.
That's not me. That's if
Yes, it is.
I
You said,
no.
I voted just Democrat.
I
What if-
did because
if
they
there was
didn't.
a sucky Democrat.
What?
What about if in your area
Yeah.
there was a Democrat running for congressman or whatever, and you were like, I don't like this guy. You would still vote for him because he was.
If I didn't like him, no, I wouldn't. Listen.
He would leave
Okay,
it blank.
show me-
He wouldn't vote for the Republican. He would just leave it blank.
Yeah, right.
I don't know, but I wouldn't vote for someone I didn't like. I would, or if I didn't, there's, you always go down the list and you go, I don't even recognize these two people running. I'm going to edge on the side of Democrat. If I don't know them,
Right.
I'm going to go Democrat. But if I know them to be a piece of shit, I'm not going to vote for them.
I look at that and I go, which name do I like better?
Which sounds better.
It's like picking a horse in a horse race.
Exactly. I always go for the gray one. If there's somebody named Gray, I'm fucking voting for that person. They got my vote.
But I think in Congress, it's like, okay, so the Republicans think one way and the Democrats think another way, and people, I don't know, they think they have to vote that way because it's that party, and it's like, that's frustrating because I believe a lot of people in Congress do not believe fully what Republicans think or fully what Democrats think, but they vote that way because they're supposed to. That's
well, honestly,
well, nowadays it's more likely than it used to be. I feel like it's more divided now than it used to be. I feel like back 20 years ago, it would be a mixed bag. You get Republicans voting on either side.
you would get a lot
and
more
Democrats
people
on either
crossing the
side.
aisle.
Now it's literally right down the middle.
I actually feel the same way that JSAP just said, but the Roe v. Wade thing changed my perception of that. Because I honestly thought that both sides had their little thing about Roe v. Wade, but they were like, everybody just left it alone until they took it away. And then I was a little surprised. Because in my heart of hearts, I felt like Republicans didn't really give a shit. They would say it was bad to get votes, but everybody kind of felt like, well, if I get into some trouble here, we could always just slip the doctor $400 and get rid of this problem.
I'd love to know
what it
how
is
many
too?
of them.
Old white men are religious, so there you go. And religion is a huge factor in that. It really is.
Well, look at the one. What's his name? I can't remember his name. He was voted out though, barely. Who had abortions and paid for them?
Herschel Walker.
The race. Herschel Walker. I mean, he was a Republican and admitted to them, but he doesn't believe in them. They shouldn't happen. But he paid for them.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody was full of shit. I felt, and that they were all kind of like, whatever. It's Roe v. Wade. What are we going to do? But then they really did it, and I was surprised. I was surprised by that.
Point to one Republican who comes out and says, "I think a woman should have the right to choose."
Me.
I mean, first of all,
I'm not a Republican, though.
In government.
But the thing is, they're not going to, because that is the way that they're supposed to think.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Which is stupid. It's stupid, but that's just how it goes, and it's annoying.
Somebody brought up Dick Cheney in the chat, and who was more awful for that? Dick Cheney fucking, here we go, beat my drum. Dick Cheney didn't support his own. Well, he supported his daughter, but he basically were like, I don't know. If I was Dick Cheney's daughter, I would have been upset. During that whole time that they were running, they
hold
didn't
on
have.
a minute. Hold on. No, go ahead. No, you keep going. I'm gonna have to go for 1 second.
Well, then what'd you tell me to hold on for?
Sorry,
Anthony, stop talking so I can leave.
Go ahead. His daughter was gay, and he didn't come out against her, but he didn't. He was like, he walked the line so he wouldn't lose votes for it. I mean, that was the most obvious case of like, we don't all really believe this shit, do we? I mean, if that were me, I'd have been like, I love my daughter. Go fuck yourself if you don't want to vote for me. But he couldn't do that and win.
But so then you shouldn't win. If you don't vote the way you feel, then you're out. I'm sorry, that's not the way it should.
I'm with you, but when you're in that room and your party and other people and people running on your campaign are all looking at you to be like, hey, come on, man, like you got to say the things you got to say to get elected. Like that's all they do is say the things they have to say to get elected.
I know. Well, look at the woman. I'm blanking on the name, but there was a woman, a Republican. Yeah, there you go. A Republican. She stood up and she was crying about, we can't let same-sex marriage.
And her nephew was,
and her nephew came out and was like, "What the fuck, you bitch!" Like it was.
I saw that
she's
too.
Crying. Oh, we're gonna lose the traditional family. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Well, what's crazy about that is I feel like, and this isn't going to actually happen until it gets tested, but I feel like more people would probably respect that woman for standing up for her nephew and be like, I know my religion says one thing, but my nephew's gay and I want to stand up for. I think most people would respect that because most people know or related to a gay person.
Absolutely. That's your nephew. That's your flesh and blood, and you're gonna get up there and tell the world that you think his lifestyle is wrong, or he should not. Maybe she doesn't think that whatever her opinion is, but her point was that they shouldn't have the same rights as everyone else. They shouldn't be able to marry.
Right. Well, I'm very upset with the church over that. I think it's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable.
I talked about this a couple of months ago, when I was at the religious class with my son and going through the steps for communion, and the fucking priest said, hey, listen, it's not that we don't, like gay people, but we believe marriage. And it's just a fucking cop out, and it drives me crazy. I had one of those.
You know what though? That's someone's religion, whatever that has to be. But I feel like that's not even the fight. They're not even, I feel like gay people just want to get married. They don't. It doesn't matter if it's in a church. They'd want to be recognized as married.
No, but what I'm saying is though, don't you? I guess that's not what I'm saying. Here's my point. Yeah. That the Republicans would probably lose a lot of this feeling to get votes if the goddamn Catholic Church just came out and said it's okay for two men to get married. Marriage is not just between a man and a woman. If they came out and said that,
that would be a huge change.
Politics would follow suit the very next day. By the way, we didn't talk about this, but I kind of wanted to a couple times. The Philadelphia Flyers in the NHL, all the NHL teams have all their nights: Spanish Heritage Night, Irish Night, and they have Pride Night, right, at the arena. And they'll all do different things like rainbow hockey tape, or they'll wear a special warm-up jersey and whatever. So the Flyers were wearing a special warm-up jersey, and I don't know if it was like a rainbow colored jersey or if there was just a patch on their regular jerseys. I don't know what it is, but this player, Ivan Provorov, decided not to take warm-ups. And then he played in the game, which is kind of uncommon, because you could take warm-ups and not play in the game. Usually like 25 guys will warm up, 20 guys dress for the game. So that's common. But to not take warm-ups and play in the game, you're going to get asked about that. So they asked him about it, and he was like, well, to be honest with you, I'm very religious and I don't believe in this. And so I didn't, I didn't want to wear the fucking thing. And this goes back to the baseball player or the football player. I forget what the fuck it was. Everybody is using this excuse of religion to be a fucking
Yeah.
bigot.
But and then they say, oh, the religion, but everybody falls back on religion. But then when it comes to like issues like immigration, it's like, well, fuck them. They're illegal, so we can't help them. It's like, have a fucking heart, all these people, gun violence.
Don't you remember when Jesus said, treat everybody like you want to be treated, except for those goddamn immigrants?
Except if they're here illegally, then they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Or, when people get shot in schools and stuff, then that's, it's the guns. You can't, it's not the guns. You got to protect the guns, not the children. So that's in the Bible too. Remember, protect the guns.
Yes.
And it's just, the hypocrisy is unbelievable when it comes to.
I guess what I'm saying though is everybody's hiding under this religious thing. And by the way, they let this Provorov slide. They let him slide. Like everybody again, and I get it. Those guys just want to play hockey. They don't want to get involved in this shit. It's a never-ending thing that you can't win. But again, if that's me, I'm looking at if I'm the coach, I look at the general manager and I go, he's got to go. He cannot play for our team. I don't want it. He's not even that fucking good of a player. It's a great play. Look, if the best player of the team does it, I'll be like,
I feel like it's the equivalent of, I forget, it's the equivalent of if it were Puerto Rican night and he didn't want to wear, well, I don't.
Well, that I understand. Have you ever been around
this? He's joking, everyone. That's not real. Like if he didn't want to, I don't believe that they should have their own night. So I'm not supporting this.
I believe that's the same thing because everybody would be like, yeah, Frank, that's ridiculous. And I think the sad part is they can't put the correlation between Puerto Rican night and Pride night.
It's the same thing.
You're basically saying you just don't believe in a particular
group of people. That's it. Right. That's all it is. These people.
But it's okay if it's okay if it's their fucking religion. I mean, and these guys all get a pass. And I'm sorry, but I blame the church. Like that's the one. If the church just came out and been like, it's fine, it's not that big of a deal anymore. Gay people are people like everybody else. The politicians wouldn't make a big deal out of it.
Well, I think it goes both ways, though. I think if the politicians all came out and everybody else in the world came out and said, well, it's not a big deal, gay people deserve the same exact rights as everybody else, I think the church would follow suit.
I know. I don't think so. I think if the politicians said it, it would fall on its face.
Well, I mean, around the world, not just in America. It would have to go because in order for it to reach the Vatican and everywhere else, it'd have to be more than just one country doing that. But if everybody got on board and all the politicians were like, gay people should have the exact same rights as non-gay people, then I think, if one side or the other says it, the church or people who are against it,
I think
said no.
I think it would be progress if the politicians did it, but I think it would go away if the church did it.
Yeah,
because the politicians use the church as the excuse. It's the church that ultimately has to make
But it's like, what it's like though? To me, it's the equivalent of when the mafia uses they always never go against the family, honor your mother and father, but murder's fine, stealing's fine, adultery's fine. But I got to cross myself, got the kid baptized, and blah, 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 and do all that. But when it comes to following the rules, we're not going to follow the rules. It's the equivalent. They pick and choose which parts they want.
Convenient. Yeah.
That's convenient. But when it comes to love thy neighbor, treat everybody equally, that's the stuff that's not, not for them. Everybody, I don't understand this basic fundamental issue. Everybody gets equal rights. Why are we all confused on that? You're a person, you get equal rights. Why? Everybody starts out with the basic same rights. Why is that?
Because it was never really true, right? Like slaves didn't get it right off the bat. Women didn't get it.
Yeah,
right off
but
the bat.
I feel like this day and age, we're all a little more ahead of the game. We're all a little more. Why? If I went up to let's say I went up to Ted Cruz, do you believe every single person, if they're a human being, should have the same exact rights? If he says anything but yes, shouldn't he be disqualified from being in government?
Because he would skirt the issue and he would say, gay people have equal rights. It's just my religion tells me they shouldn't be married. Their marriage shouldn't be recognized, but they can
Separation
have
of church and state. We're
they
talking
can,
state. Forget
yeah.
church right now.
Well, and then
State.
all the people bring one nation under God up. That's always their response to that bullshit. Or one nation under God.
Yeah, it didn't say which God.
No, it didn't. But some people would argue it shouldn't say God at all.
Maybe, but it's like, you take, honestly though, if you ask any I feel like if someone just went up to a politician who doesn't believe in gay marriage and all this stuff, if you said, do you think every person should have equal rights? Everybody, every single one of them should answer, yes, of course, which is America. Everybody gets equal rights.
Well, but yes,
how could
I agree.
wouldn't that solve every problem? Not every problem. Wouldn't that solve a lot of problems? Everybody gets a clean, you get all the same rights.
When you look at gay marriage, for instance, which I don't even know if it's even a law, right? Because that's what they're trying to do is pass the law. Did they pass the law? I don't even remember.
Well,
right now, it's basically a court case that's allowing it to happen, right?
I think it's allowed, but I could be very wrong on this, but I think it's allowed, but it's not specifically
law. It's not
law,
codified,
so
right?
it could be right.
Which is what they were trying to do. Okay, when you look at that,
it's not unallowed.
Do you remember when Obama went on Good Morning America, maybe, and said to Robin Roberts that it should, like, gay people should be allowed to get married? They leaked that like a week. That was not that long ago.
Yeah,
and they had to leak it to test it out to see how it would do, and if everybody was ready for a sitting president to say gay people should be able to get married. That was only a few short years ago. I mean, that's how slow the hands of progress move.
No other president before Obama said that?
Obama was the first one to publicly say, they all said it in private, but he was the first one to publicly say, and I remember specifically they leaked it because everybody knew he was going to say it, and they only leaked it so that they can test it to see, should we say this or not,
Right.
Because if they leak it, then they can go on and say and deny that it was just a rumor. He wasn't going to say that.
Right. Well, when you ask a politician who doesn't believe in gay marriage why, they'll say their religion. And then the answer to that would be, well, then that's the church. We're not talking about the church. We're talking about married in the eyes of the government. I'm talking about if you go get a license, if you're legally married. You can get married different ways in every religion. We're talking about
and they're all
being
wrong.
legally married. Oh. And whichever way you want, right, whatever you want to do.
By the way, our friend is against marriage. Our friend, a friend of ours, made a crack in the group chat the other day that he would go around on a lecture circuit to lecture people on the evils of getting married, and I believed him. Like, if he could make a living doing that, I strongly believe he would.
That is messed up.
But I think he's happily married. I mean, as happy as anybody could possibly.
He just likes to bitch about it. That's it.
He loves to bitch about it.
Yeah, he is. I know he does.
And
I feel like it's a bit for him, though.
To his credit, though, there's a lot of stuff they just don't tell you before you get into that new car. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like if you were buying a car and they were like, yeah, the fourth wheel shakes every now and then, and the car goes like this every now and then, you would not buy that car.
I think it's a little different. That's a car, not a marriage. If there was a couple things that
the car has a lot of gas, but
and by the way, I think I know who you're talking about. And if anybody has any right to complain, it ain't him.
It's his wife.
It's his wife. I'm sorry.
All right, Jeremy Renner is a real.
I'm going to tell him to tune in right now.
Love the
He's
guy.
Watching. Jeremy Renner is a real American hero. As it turns out, he fucking got mauled by this snowplow. Because he was trying to save his nephew from getting crushed by it. And the only thing I guess it was a rough situation. He didn't put the fucking emergency brake on, and that's why it rolled over him.
Really?
But he jumped out to save his nephew. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like coming down the street or something, like it was the city or something like that.
No, it was his. It was his snowplow. He was photographed. It was his own personal snowplow.
Okay, and so
Now
he was driving it, and he gets out.
I guess something was happening with his nephew or something, and he jumped out to save his nephew, and the thing started to slide, and that was it. He got crushed. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
God.
He broke like something like 30 bones or something like that.
He broke a lot of bones. Yeah. But he was saving his nephew, which
That's
is
awesome.
huge because that woman wouldn't even let her nephew marry another dude. And here's Jeremy Renner getting fucking crushed
You
by
see that?
the damn thing.
Right?
That's a fucking real hero.
That is a fantastic story. And see, that's an Avenger.
He's a real Avenger. That's
He
what
is.
it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful thing.
I was talking about.
A real Avenger would have taken the snowplow and just threw it up in the air.
Depends on which Avenger we're talking about.
That's a good point, though.
I mean, there are some Avengers in there that they don't have any superpowers.
I'm kind of mad about it. I'm a little upset with Jeremy Renner for it because I was, we were going through the topics pre-show and I asked Cuddles, I'm like, what's the top 3? And I was going through the stories and she's like, oh, definitely the Jeremy Renner story. And she said it like that. And I was like, what?
Ask her if your face slowly morphed into Jeremy Renner.
I think she wants to bang Jeremy Renner because she's like, that's just so, I don't know. She's like, it's so macho that he did that for his nephew. I was like, pour some fucking water on yours. Like, what is happening here? So,
well, he's making us all look bad. Is what?
Yeah, he is. We're not men.
We're not men. No, we're not.
Well, I guess that's my question for J Sabs because Frank won't admit to his true sexuality. Is Jeremy Renner more fuckable today because he like saved?
Absolutely. You don't even have to finish the sentence.
Well, he's definitely not less fuckable. He only go. It's either he stays the same or goes up in everyone's eyes for this.
I don't know what it is. I know the answer to the question, but I feel like conferring with J Sabs is helpful. Like I need to hear it.
You hear that confirmation.
I need to have that confirmation. You think my wife wants to bang Jeremy Renner?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I knew it.
You knew that though. Yeah, that you didn't need anybody to confirm.
Okay, cancel Disney Plus immediately. Can't fucking.
Honey, why is there a buzzing sound while you're watching the Avengers?
No.
Yeah.
She's using her Ragnar rocket.
Oh, all right. That's my fucking. That's my wife. Damn it.
Oh, sorry.
Classified documents everywhere. I don't want to talk about this other than to say here we are talking about it because people are like on my ass because we're not talking about which we did mention. Joe Biden's got.
He's talking about it.
He's got documents coming out his ass. He's got so many documents, and they just found Mike Pence had documents. And Frank's gonna hate me saying this. Turns out that Donald Trump was right. They basically all just fucking took shit with them, which is what he said when he first got nailed with all this stuff. Like everybody does.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm not going to say it. That's not true. They did. The difference, if there's a difference, this is the difference. When they asked for Trump to give it back, he kept it for a year, ignored subpoenas, and said, "No, these are my papers. You can't have them," until they had to literally come in and take them from him. That's the difference.
I mean that's weird. I don't care for it. I was more upset that he had them all in the first place, and now I'm more upset that they all have. Like, what are all these people fucking doing? I don't understand.
Don't act like you never. We talked about this. Don't act like you never stole something from your office. Okay.
No, but I'm saying like you let Joe Schmo from the accounting firm go, and the guy can't even walk out with anything. He's got to they put his own personal stuff in a box and ship it to his house later. How are we letting presidents just roll out of the fucking White House?
Because there's no one above them at that point.
I guess
there's no one above them to say, "Hey, let me see what you got in that."
Yeah,
see what you got.
And while they're in office, they take stuff. They take stuff home with them and look at it there.
That's the problem. It's not like they're leaving on the last day and taking shit.
No,
they've just got
their trunk
piling up all throughout their time in office, and they fucking forget they have it.
Yeah, they're not walking out with a hammer mill box filled with a potted plant and all these documents on their last day.
I wish they would, though.
That would be a nice scene.
Yeah.
But no, as they work, as they do their stuff, they're taking stuff home with them, and that's where they do. When they're home, when they're away from the White House or they're away from their from the Hill from their vice president office.
All right. More important question. I'm curious to get your opinion on this and the audience in the live chat. Should Jennifer Garner be jealous of J-Lo? Let me explain. Who sent the text message?
Oh, I'm sorry. My mom.
Your mom sent a text message?
No, I sent one to her.
What are you texting your mom in the middle of the podcast?
Because it's a long story.
All right, let me get to my J-Lo thing, and then we'll get back to your mom.
Should we call her Jaga?
Jaga.
Jaga.
Let me think about that. They went to one of their kids. So the story was that got this all started was J-Lo and Jennifer and Ben all went to the kids. One of their kids is, I don't know whose kid. Doesn't fucking matter. Went to one of the kids' fucking recitals, right? And that was like the big story. Like, look at they're all getting along. But I was looking at this and I go, don't you think it would bother me? I think Jennifer Garner, Ben Affleck dated J-Lo. It was such a big thing. They were Benifer. Then he leaves J-Lo and they start going out. They get married. They have kids. They get divorced. He basically does nothing for years. I guess little dates here and there, little whatevers. As soon as she becomes available, J-Lo, he swoops right back to her and fucking marries her. And by all signs is like as happy as a pig in shit. Shouldn't Jennifer Garner feel like, what the fuck was our whole marriage just like was I the consolation prize, I guess, is what I'm saying.
I think she should be like, well, I guess I'm up next. As soon as they're done, he comes back to me.
You think so?
If the pattern is to repeat itself.
Like, don't you think Jennifer Garner is thinking, was he ever really in love with me? Or was I just another brunette in show business that
named Jennifer?
Jennifer that he could get because he couldn't get J-Lo. His real true love.
Garner?
Yeah.
They were married and they had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's legit. I mean, how many years were they together? They had kids together. I don't think why would she be jealous? You know, I feel like she's probably by now over him.
She's probably over him, but I mean, Gardner, you cannot compete with J-Lo. There is no way. There is no way.
You think J-Lo's hotter?
Oh, yes.
I think
1,000 times hotter.
Pretty hot.
No.
A little bit of a duck face, but she's hot.
That's see, too much of the lip thing. And then I will also say this though, Jennifer Garner has that like really adorable girl next door thing.
I think she's very good looking. I don't.
But I have to say, J-Lo's got the hips and the ass, which is a big deal in my book. You know, I got to give her the win there. I'm torn. Frankly, I'm torn.
I don't know. They're both. I think they're both very pretty. I don't think you.
No, obviously they're pretty, but
they were married for 10 years, so.
But do you think that she's thinking like, shit, was I a consolation prize?
Yes.
She shouldn't think that. No, she's not.
No, not what she shouldn't think. What do you think she's thinking?
I don't think she's thinking that at all. I think she knows her value. I think she's very up there on the hotness list. I think she's up
Frank,
there.
but you don't have a vagina. Wait, that's debatable.
Not according to his voting record.
What's happening here?
You're not a woman, so you don't get it. If I was Jennifer Garner, I would probably think, fuck you, you were always in love with J-Lo. And I was the, what's it called? Rebound.
It's a long rebound, though. They were together, 10 years, you said?
Yep. And what? You had to date me because I was safe. That's why he dated her, and that's why he married her, because she was safe. J-Lo was not safe.
Why wasn't she safe?
Because she didn't fit from his upbringing. That's why.
Now, this might shock you, but I talked to Cuddles about this pre-show. She actually agrees with Frank.
What? That she doesn't care?
She said that she's confident. I shouldn't put words in her mouth. That she's a confident woman.
Yeah.
And there is no way she would feel any sort of inferiority. She said it a different way, but I'm not as articulate as her. Towards J-Lo. Like, in other words, Jennifer Garner would look at J-Lo and not feel that one iota. Where I agree with J Sabs that there's a lot of insecurity in, well, people in general, but in women, and that she feels like a second banana.
Yeah.
I don't think she should. I'm on Team Cuddles. I think Jennifer Garner.
Does that mean I'm on Team J Sabs? I'm not comfortable
Whoa.
with that.
I think Jennifer Garner
Don't say it.
is just as should be, held to the same height as J-Lo. I think they're both up there.
Beat My Drum says Latinas are never safe. I know from experience. Now that's something she might have to publicly apologize for one day when she runs for office. I know we're not saying like, look, we all know they could knife you at any moment. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about relationship purposes.
That's not good.
In prison, do not turn your back at all.
That's true.
All right.
If I've learned anything from...
We're going down a road here.
From Oz, it's you don't want to turn your back on a...
You don't want to pick up any soap.
That's true. You don't want to turn your back on a skinhead white person because they'll fucking burn you to death. I don't know. What would you rather be, burnt or stabbed? I'm going to say stabbed.
Burnt how? Like doused in gasoline and lit on fire?
Yeah, I don't know. Those white guys just burn each other in jail.
Or like branded. Branded, like if it's branded, burned, or like set on fire. You don't want to be set on fire.
Because I think it takes longer, right? It's longer pain.
Well, stabbed, you could survive. I think being set on fire, that's just an all-out painful existence after that. That's no good.
I didn't know this, but Jeff Bezos's girlfriend, speaking of duck lips, she was a TV person.
Okay.
She was started on Fox, I think. Then she went to Extra. Turns out she had a tryout on The View. Barbara Walters wanted her. Star Jones blocked it.
Who is she? Do we know the name?
Laura Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Dirty Sanchez, as they call her.
Jerk. So,
if you were friend with Lauren Sanchez, you wouldn't call her Dirty Sanchez? I would.
So anybody named Sanchez, you're going to call them Dirty Sanchez?
100%. 100%.
Okay. So it's Lauren. I don't know who
Dirty
this is. Let me see if I
Sanchez.
recognize her.
Lauren Dirty Sanchez. Yeah.
Oh, I know who she is. Okay. No, I don't.
She got big old duck lips. A lot of work. Not a lot. You don't want to keep her near a fire. She will melt, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work done. But, I mean, I don't know her from anything else. She's a TV personality?
Yeah.
Okay. And so who's going to be on The View? So, I mean, now what is she doing? Did she get a job somewhere else? Is she on any kind of other TV show or anything?
No, she just fucks Jeff Bezos now. That's her job.
Yeah. Does she need a job? She doesn't have to work a day in her life.
You know what's funny? I was at a food event out in the Hamptons once, and Star Jones showed up, and one of the people I worked with was like, "Oh, I want to sit next to Star Jones and talk to her," and I was like, "Why? Like, what the fuck you want to talk to her for?" She's like, "Well, Star Jones, such a big deal." I'm like, "You're such a star fucker." I was so miserably uncomfortable. I'm like, "Stop trying to buddy up to Star Jones. She doesn't give a fuck that you're there. She's not interesting whatsoever. Like, there's fucking crab cakes over there. Like, let's go get those."
She's not a nice person anyway.
She didn't appear to be. I mean,
no, I heard that she's not nice at all. So
I couldn't tell. She was okay. She said hi to everybody, but I also felt like she was pulling back a bit, and I also felt like I'd be pulling back a bit if the person who I was with was fucking me like the way she was. Like, look at Star Jones. Like, stop looking at her. Like, it doesn't. Who gives a shit?
I bet if you're, Star Jones though, you probably like the attention.
Her, yeah.
I mean, if you're like, Angelina Jolie, you're probably like enough already every day with this. But Star Jones is going to be like, yeah, come over, we'll talk.
I guess so, maybe, yeah.
She's not as recognized, I guess.
I also thought it was weird that she was even at that event to begin with, because it's like, just go eat at a nice restaurant. Like, why are you in the middle of a field on a sweaty
Right.
August day?
Wasn't it a charity thing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I
All right,
guess so.
there's your answer, dipshit.
I'd be like, here's $5,000. I'll be in the air conditioned restaurant and having a fucking nice meal.
This is why you're not on The View.
I guess so. The Senate Judiciary Committee is actually meeting over the ticket industry.
Ooh.
Good.
And I have to say, I mean, look, this has happened a bunch of times. It's not the first time it's happened, but the Taylor Swift ticket thing has brought this whole.
It's a huge deal. That was the
People are upset
The
they can't
last
get their
straw.
Swiftie tickets. Yeah.
because there's got to be something like what is the big problem was when everything went on sale. What happened? Like someone snatched them all up,
A bot program like basically bought up all the tickets.
and nobody could get tickets, and then they get sold for double, triple the money somewhere else. And it's ridiculous. I don't
Which
know how,
we shouldn't lose sight is one part of the problem, because the other part of the problem is sometimes Ticketmaster does exactly what the bots do, where they go, oh, these tickets aren't available, but they're there on the resale site, and they're fucking beefing up the prices and selling them at a higher profit and making the fees on them.
It's unbelievable because they're like, I don't want to say the only game in town, but they're pretty much the only game in town.
Ticketmaster, Live Nation, 100%.
Live
That's
Nation.
it. That's
I
it.
mean, yeah,
They're the fucking
and
worst.
The fees and the this and the that, and it's just hundreds of dollars just for a few hours. It's like, what are we? Nobody could get these tickets, and then these bots get them, and then they're triple the price. It's. I'm glad that they're doing something about this.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much the fees that they put. And this is bothering my ear. Huh? It's crazy how much they charge for the whatever.
Yeah, you buy a $100 ticket. It's like $60 for administration fees and this fee and that fee. You end up paying double what the ticket's worth just in Ticketmaster fees.
Actually,
I agree.
I was listening to Louis C.K. today on another podcast.
How dare you?
Come on. What podcast?
Chris DiStefano one.
Okay.
And he was talking about when he doesn't want his fans to pay more than $50 a ticket for his shows. So they started their own ticketing program, like his past shows, because he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm not making people pay $150, $200 to see me because of ticket prices, like, fees and everything. So he said he used his own ticketing, which makes sense.
I wish more people would do that. By the way, do you remember like 15 years ago how upset we were at Pearl Jam when they started doing that shit? When they were like, we're going to get our own tickets. Fuck Ticketmaster. And everybody was like, now we can't get tickets. Fuck Pearl Jam.
But why was that such a problem back then?
They rallied because you couldn't, it wasn't like now. Like back then, Ticketmaster in the late 90s, early 2000s,
you used
whenever
to have to call a phone for tickets.
Yeah, it was kind of hard
Which
to get,
is
and people
fine.
didn't trust it and everything. But I agree with you, like, and it's true. Like Louis C.K. is right. It's a little different though because he's renting these venues out and selling his own tickets. But I wish more bands and people, comedians, would do this. Like, especially now, like you have like all these different ticket places. There doesn't have to be such a monopoly, but they're all paying Congress to fucking allow their bullshit to continue, which is why it's continuing.
Right. But that wouldn't stop the bots. It would stop the overcharging of the whatever fees.
Right.
But a bot could just as easily go on Britney Spears' website and buy up all the tickets and then resell them somewhere.
Technically, yeah. Well, two things to that. So we forget that, by the way, that scenario I said before really happened. Like Ticketmaster would hold back like 1,000 tickets and immediately put them on their resale site and jack up the prices. And they got in trouble for that. Remember when they offered the free tickets to all the shows? That was part of the punishment that they got in trouble for, and they had to pay millions back to the fans. that's how they did it, by offering it. So that really happened. They were really doing that. But the other thing is they put these fees on, like aside from the bots, they put these fees on that nobody knows what the fuck they're for.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't have
fees.
to legally be transparent and say this is why this fee is $6.95 because we're paying for this, and this. And there was a band that testified. Yeah, there was a band that testified, and they were like, Ticketmaster gets their money first, and then we have to get our money after all the expenses of a show. They take their money out before show expenses. He's like, by the time we get done, like we are a band of 8. I don't know what band he was in. He's like, we're a band of 8. We're splitting $6 while Ticketmaster takes $25 straight off the top of their fucking ticket price.
Yep.
It's like, how is that fucking allowed? But going back to your point, you need to do like these, the fan clubs. Like if you had people registered and it was the kind of thing where they were continuously like paying or whatever. And, you know, that's the only way you can really avoid the bots. Is if you do like ticket lotteries with fan sites.
Right.
I mean, would you continue? Would you pay what month? How do you, I don't think I'd sign up for.
You wouldn't do it for me. I used to do it for Dave Matthews. I'll be honest. I haven't done it in like 20 years. But there was a time where I paid to be in his little fan club because you got tickets first. And it was like a lottery thing. And
how much and how often did you pay?
I think it was like, I don't even know. I'll probably look it up. $30 or something like that.
For what, a year? $30 a year, or
for a year, and you get like a calendar, and
they just.
I mean, if you get stuff out of it, that's cool.
You gonna go see him, Ant?
What?
They just announced their tour too.
Big tour. Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Forest Hills one because that's like the best theater to go to.
We got a new Dave Matthews song yesterday.
Big time. Did it sound like this? No.
Are we close? We're close.
No, it's really good. It's a heavy tune.
How close is it to yodeling?
It's not. There's no fucking yodeling.
Metallica came out with a song a few days ago.
Nobody gives a shit.
I give a shit.
No, go ahead.
No, they did, and it's really good.
Better than the Dave Matthews song that just came out.
Oh, how could it be?
It shan't be.
What's it called? The Dave Matthews
song.
That's what it's called.
I think it's called Madman's Eyes.
That's lame.
You're fucking lame. What was the Metallica song called?
Screaming Suicide.
Oh yeah, that real cool. Screaming Suicide.
Yeah, it's about suicide awareness. It's about not keeping your if you're having those kinds of thoughts, it's about not keeping them to yourself, and it's about like telling people that's how you feel. So there's actually a nice, good message there.
Okay, all right, I can't argue with that. When you put it that way, I got nothing.
There you go.
I have no retort.
Good.
Let me see here. Not a member yet, become a member. $35 for a year.
Okay.
Right. And as long as you get stuff, like if it's just $35 just to have the edge of getting being first to get tickets, that's like Ticketmaster problem. That's the same shit.
Yeah. Opportunities to purchase tickets in advance, concert meet and greets, opportunity for concert meet and greets, contests for merchandise, ticket giveaways, ticket upgrades.
Yeah, as long as you're getting something out of it.
I guess so. I should probably do it again. Because I'm telling you, it's impossible to get tickets to Dave Matthews. I remember like 6 years ago. I don't know why. I don't know if they waned in popularity or what happened, but tickets were cheap.
How much are they now?
Now, I think I paid $180 a ticket.
Yeah.
Last
see now,
time.
So I actually want to see Madonna really bad.
Oh, don't get me started.
I don't even know how much. I forgot actually.
Look up a Madonna ticket. Can we talk about Madonna for a second? This fucking promotional video that I've been subject to.
Fuck me.
Oh my God.
Very strange. Very strange. Huh?
Really weird. It's Madonna sitting around a table playing Truth or Dare with Amy Schumer, Jack Black,
What?
Lil Wayne, like Eric Andre, the smattering of people is so bizarre. And then so they do some, and I've seen they must have
It's weird.
filmed
There's
for
no
like
rhyme or reason for it. It's just
dude,
it's just a
they
it's
must
a
have
potpourri of people.
they must have filmed for 2 hours because I've seen 6 different versions of this. They play Truth or Dare. Something stupid happens in the beginning, and then they dare Madonna to go on tour. That's how every video ends. But one video was like Lil Wayne or Eric Andre had to show his balls to some guy had to show his balls, and poor Jack Black had to like confirm that the guy had shaved balls. That was one of the dares. The next dare was that Madonna had to make out with Jack Black, and I can't believe I'm saying she did it, and I actually felt bad for Jack Black. Because have you ever like made out with like a dog that had too much plastic surgery? Because that's kind of what it's like. That's what she looks like right now. I mean, it is rough.
Isn't he married? And I don't know.
The biggest, and he's. I thought the same thing too. Like, isn't he like? If I was his wife, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Well, that's like, that's acting now. Plus, it's Madonna. I'm sure she'd be like, you could kiss Madonna. It's fine.
I don't know. That's that. First of all, those lips have been around a lot of dick. I'm sorry, but that is
lots of dick.
There's a lot of dick residue on that. Yeah. And then I am sorry, but I have to say this. Nobody has ever fallen from graces from me more than Amy Schumer.
Oh, what she said?
I'm never a huge fan of Amy. She had a few funny things, but I can't.
I loved her. I still think she's funny, but she in the video she's like, Madonna, truth or dare? And she's like, dare. And she's like, I dare you to go on tour and play 4 decades. And she's like, 4 decades? And she's like, 4 decades. And I'm just looking at her, you just shut the
I do talk about her giving analingus to her husband.
Where she licks her husband's asshole?
That's what she said in the video, something like that.
Oh, did she say that? I must have not gotten that cut yet because I didn't see that. But good for her. She just got points back in my book then. Good for her if she's looking at her husband's ass.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
If your wife had to shoot a commercial and she had to kiss Dave Matthews, how would you feel?
No, I would not feel good about it. I like his music. I don't want him to fucking lick my wife's tongue.
But it's acting. So you would.
Is it?
You're a jealous guy anyway. So if your wife was an actress, you would not be happy with her.
No, listen.
Doing anything with any other guy.
Well, that's a different. You're setting up a whole different life for him. First of all, she's not an actress.
Thank you.
So it's like out of nowhere.
Okay.
Well, she does act like she loves me, so that's
You're right.
No, but here's the thing: if it's a fucking, if my wife came to me and goes, "Listen, I got this part in the Spielberg movie, and I got to kiss Dave Matthews," I'd be like, "All right." But if she's like, "We're doing a promo video, and I might have to kiss somebody," I'd be like, "Fuck no! I don't want you to kiss somebody on a goddamn TikTok video."
Yeah, that's. So it's. You don't have a problem with the action. Is it worth? Is it worth it?
I mean, if you're in a movie, that's one thing. If you're just shooting a promo video for a concert, like a tour, that's not something to be making out with somebody else in.
It's the price that you're haggling over.
I don't know. I guess so. The whole thing annoys me. I hate the whole fucking thing.
The cheapest tickets are $237.
That's
insane.
Fucking ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's fucking ridiculous. Now, listen, I understand that she is probably going to employ a fuck ton of people. So I'm happy about that. But, I mean, come on. Like, who's got that money to fucking throw around on a goddamn Madonna? And you're not seeing Madonna from 86. This is...
No. What is she, 70 now?
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I know, but I love
60?
her. And I always loved her. And it
Oh, no, I'm not... No one's doubting her legend. She's amazing.
My daughter is dancing to Material Girl in her recital. So, I mean, if that's not a sign to go see her, I don't know what is.
She's 64. Yeah, I mean, she's not dancing probably like she was when she was 34.
Neither is Britney.
She's got moves. She's in her 40s?
Well, I'll tell you what the problem is
she's 41.
41. She's in her 40s.
The problem is Madonna's fucking music stand like she just said, like every
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody's kid right now is dancing to a Madonna song this year at the fucking dance recital. Like
100%. No, she's a legend. Madonna's a legend. That's for sure. So the question, that's why she commands that much money. I mean, but
Right.
still, it's
a lot.
crazy, though.
That's a birthday gift.
That's
a
the
birthday
cheapest.
gift.
Imagine you're all the way in the friggin' back and you paid almost $300 for that ticket.
That's the cheapest ticket.
I know.
That's section like 221.
Yeah, that's
where?
crazy.
Barclays or the Garden?
Garden.
Yeah, you know what though? Looking like Des Moines, like what? Get an outside of New York show. Is the ticket the same price?
Oh, that's a good question.
Going back to the other thing though, like I did a lot of
I'm gonna check Oklahoma.
Check Oklahoma, because you might be able to fucking fly to Oklahoma, buy a ticket, get a hotel room, and pay less than seeing her at the Garden.
Oh, it's not up yet.
We used to have artists that would come by. A lot of comics did this actually, where they would dictate the price of the ticket. They'd be like, if you want me to come play your venue, you cannot charge more than this much.
I think that's fair.
Because they just didn't want their fans to do it. It was hard for some of the theaters though to make it work though, because
Yeah, because they got to pay everybody that works at the theater.
Yeah, because it wasn't like they were like, well, I'll take less so my fans can pay less. They were like, this is what you have to pay me, and this is the max that you could charge. Can you make it work? And some of the theaters could not.
Yeah, I could see that being a problem.
Yeah. But they got to fix something with this because the fucking ticket prices are. So I'll do this too. I'll run on StubHub every now and then just to kind of like get tickets to the Islander game or see what's going on. There's an option now to look at tickets with the fees in it. And I click that all the time because it's like, I don't want to look and be like, oh, tickets are $35. I'll just go get them when I'm paying fucking $75 then for that ticket eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No, that's bull.
It's fucking crazy.
Just give me the full price of what's the total going to cost me? That's how it should be.
No surprise.
From the first click.
I'm really turning into an old man. My son wants to go to a basketball game. So Stony Brook University is the closest college to us that has a team. I don't even know what conference, like they're not even a serious, like Frank and I and Janine probably could give the Stony Brook men's basketball team a run for their money. That's how shitty they are. But they have an arena and they have like a whole thing. They had tickets for sale, not through Ticketmaster.
We don't have our own arena.
So I was like, I'm going to take him because he's like, can we go to a Knicks game? And I'm like, no. I'm like, we can go see Stony Brook though if you want. He's like, all right. I'm like, it's a real basketball game.
No, but I could set the hoop up in the yard if you want.
So we buy tickets, $20. We go. Beautiful little tiny arena. Right? They had like 4 luxury suites on one side. They had a little announcer guy. They had a mascot running around. They had, popcorn and hot dogs and hamburgers and all the concessions and shit. We had a blast. We had such a good time. This was last Saturday. Do you know that yesterday I got a call from a guy at Stony Brook and he's like, hey, we're just calling to see if you enjoyed the game. We noticed you came. We just wanted to say thanks for supporting the team. And, our next game is here if you want to come again. I was like, how fucking nice is this guy? I mean, I know he's trying to just sell me more tickets, but I thought that was so lovely,
So now if you went to the Knicks game and Madison Square Garden called you up and said, I wanted to make sure you liked the game and we got another game coming up, would you have thought that was just as nice? Or would you have thought that was, Madison Square Garden asking me for more money? What the fuck? Would you have been pissed off at them?
I would have been like, how dare you charge that much money for a fucking ticket? What is wrong with you? I mean, it's crazy. I did out of curiosity because I was like, I am not going because I don't love basketball and I don't love driving into the city to do something I don't want to do. I already do that a couple times a year.
Like Christmas.
Like Christmas and Mother's Day.
You don't want to take a 3-hour train ride?
No. Okay. No. So I mean, even if the tickets were, if somebody's like, hey, I got tickets for free, I would still balk at it. But I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, because I don't even know, I haven't looked at a price. I'm like, just gonna go see. You're talking about the shittiest seat in Madison Square Garden for a Knicks game on StubHub at least, $125.
No way. Now?
Where?
Oh my God.
I mean,
every Knicks. Oh my God.
And they have stunk for years.
Prices for everything keep going up, and the fact that minimum wage is still the same. It's like just maybe pay everybody more, and maybe we can afford some more shit.
You know what's weird?
Actually,
What's minimum wage? $15 an hour?
Well, the national minimum wage, I don't think has changed in
And then they take what do you take out of that 40%? So you're talking about somebody would have to work 20 hours just to buy one ticket to a Knick game,
It's $14.20 an hour.
and they couldn't get a hot dog. That's another hour. That's at least
they
another
could get a
hour and
hot
half.
dog. They could get a hot dog.
I mean, that shit is crazy. I'm like this kid is never going to a Knick game.
You know what's crazy though? Now, so I don't know about there. I'm sure they do though. Like these little kiosks at these places at Citi Field, at what is it? That new place in Nassau. I thought it was a Coliseum, but it's not. What's it called?
UBS Arena.
If you say you buy ice cream, they ask if you want to tip them.
Oh yeah, everywhere.
It's like
They
crazy.
ask if you want to tip?
Everywhere.
Yep. In the if you use your card, because they're cashless anyway, it's like, oh, do you want to tip? Oh, 18, 20, or 22%.
Nope.
Motherfucker, I ain't tipping you. And I ain't tipping you 22%.
Yeah, it's not like you're waiting on me for an hour and a half. You're handing me something that's standing behind you.
Oh, or how about this? And the UBS thing, you could get like you go in and get it yourself, like chicken fingers or hot dog. You literally get it yourself and you bring it to the cashier, and they still ask you if you want to tip them. It's like,
that's true.
You want to tip me?
Now, is that a problem? Is that the program that runs the credit card, or is that like the policy of the place?
No, it's the policy of the place. Going to happen at Citi Field too.
Yeah, and you go, nope. Do you skip or do you tip?
Right. Skip or tip. I like it.
Skip
new
or tip.
game. That's a new game.
Skip or tip.
Can I tell you something? I was
Go ahead.
tipping for a while, and I recently just stopped.
Like on takeout?
Yeah, everything. No, I always tip on takeout.
You got to tip for delivery.
Oh, on takeout. I'm
Not
sorry, I think that's
delivery.
delivery.
Just
on. Yeah,
like
on
you
take.
go-
I was tipping on everything, and then somebody who I know works in the service industry was like, "I don't tip because I think that's ridiculous." And I was like, "Okay, well, if you don't do it, then I don't have to feel bad about it." Then
I'm going to pick up my stuff from the restaurant. You're literally picking up a bag and handing it to me. I'm not tipping you. Although I have done it. I felt forced to do it. You feel forced to do it when the person's looking at you.
Because they're standing there on the other side of the register looking at you. If you're like,
There's almost a guy behind him with a violin.
Yeah.
And a puppy
My
dog
eyebrows are
sitting there in the
sweating.
rain.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, oh God. All right.
And they're looking at you like, what kind of car are you driving? You cheap son of a
piece
bitch.
Of crap. You can't cook your own food. I gotta hand you.
Fucking 16 years old. I'm trying to save up for college. You can't fucking throw me $3. Yeah.
Give me $2.
Yeah, I feel bad. I really do feel bad.
During the pandemic, big tipped, everybody.
It's different because they weren't getting tips because there was
exactly
no people
right.
in the
That
restaurants.
was big. But now it's like
some of these places though, it's on 18%. Like it's like no tip, 15, 18, 20, 22, and it's already on 18, and you have to take it off.
Yep.
But I feel bad. Okay, there's like a smoothie place by me, and I like a good smoothie every now and then. I feel bad not tipping them because it is really easy to put a booger in a smoothie.
Ew.
Like,
it's easy to put a booger in anything.
True.
I tend to tip whenever anybody's handling my food. I tend to tip.
I do feel bad about not tipping on a food, especially a blended item where, like I said, you can put any, and I'm not like I order it in advance and go pick it up, and I'm not there for the making of it. I get a little, probably tip here.
Here's all my money. Please don't put boogers in my food.
Yeah. And I was really concerned because I was tipping, and then I stopped tipping when I first moved that 18 to 0. I was like, oh God, I wonder if they're gonna be like, why is he not tipping anymore?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's like no matter what now, everything's a tip. It's like you're charging me for the food.
I literally got my own food. Why should I give you a tip for hitting F2?
Starbucks asks for a tip all the time. They get
they do. Yep.
I get a little thing after I pay. They're like, hey, you want to throw a tip in?
I could get behind leaving like a jar out on the table on the thing, because that's not like forcing your hand. That's there if you want to drop something in.
Right.
But like to be like the default is 18%. You have to
but the
take it
problem
off.
with
That's ridiculous.
the problem with the jar nowadays is nobody's paying with cash,
Yep, that's true.
which is the other thing we're getting fucked on because I'll get pizza by me, and I'll go to hand the it'll be like $22, and I go to hand the card, and he's like, it's $24.50 with the card.
Yep.
And at that point, I'm like, I just want to get the fuck. Like, I don't care what to just take it.
Yeah. Charge me
care what
double. Just let me leave, please.
But they're counteracting like what used to get like perks and everything, like all the points you get and shit. It's almost like you're paying for that now because you're paying more every time, because these credit card companies are charging these places to use their fucking cards.
Yeah, it's because the percentage that they charge now it has gotten so high, it's ridiculous. It really is. So they have to charge. It's 3.9% that they have to charge. They don't have to charge. I take that back. It's not a law. Whoever chooses to do it, they can. But I mean, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't do it. Starbucks doesn't do it. But
it's just
smaller businesses.
Everybody.
But the problem is like you get these delis, and all of a sudden eggs go from $3 to $7, and now they can't eat the credit card fees the way they used to. So they got to do something, Beat my drum. Exactly, Ann. I think we need more comments like this where we just reassure how correct I am about something.
Well, we don't know what point she's agreeing with you on. It's just exactly it.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really make a difference. I don't think.
It's fine. A few of those is good.
I'll tell you where I get really nervous too with the tipping thing is DoorDash and Uber Eats. Because they got some fucking nerve. Because that's another situation where you're like,
yep.
Oh, I'll get a taco thing for $12 and another sandwich, and you're like, it should be like $30, and then you look at it's like $76, and you're like, what the fuck? Because it's 10,000 fees tacked on top of it at the end.
Plus, it's not the same price as the restaurant price; it's more money.
No, you're 100% right. And then it's like, do you want to tip George, the guy who's out there in the cold and rain bringing you your food? And you're like,
right,
fuck.
Then you feel bad.
I have never ordered from Uber Eats or DoorDash or any of those
I don't do it
things.
that much. I've done it.
No, I've never once in my I don't even have the app.
Really?
I've never done it once.
I gotta tell you something. I love it. I'm not allowed to use any of them anymore, but I do love it.
I mean, what do you use it for? What do you get? I mean,
anything.
What do they deliver you?
I used to always be, and maybe this is because where I live, there's not. There's no great restaurants right by me. I am 15, 20 minutes away from a lot of really great restaurants. The restaurants that are 5 minutes away are terrible. And so, like pre Uber Eats and DoorDash, you were subject to the shitty place right in your neighborhood.
Yep.
Like no pizza place ever would deliver more than 10 minutes away. It was unheard of. And now you can get food from a half hour away. And, so it kind of opens up. I do love this thing. And Cuddles and I are guilty of this. It's really on like a Saturday night where we'll go, what do you want to eat? I don't know what you want to eat. And we will just go on to look because it's like, do you want Mexican? Do you want Chinese? Do you want a real restaurant? Do you want this? And it kind of gives you all these different options.
Yeah, but they beat you over the head with the price.
I got really upset with DoorDash because I got suspended from Uber Eats. So I started ordering from DoorDash. And in a moment of sheer laziness, the bagel store is a 3-minute car ride from my house. But last Sunday, it was just cold and I was just not feeling it. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to pay $18. And I literally paid $18 more.
For 2 bagels.
To have this fucking thing. And I ordered lox, cream cheese, onion on a bagel. It comes and I get lox spread, which is not lox.
That is not the same thing.
Lox spread is like $3. Lox on a bagel is like $12.95.
Uh-oh.
So I jump on the thing and I'm like, hey, they got their thing wrong. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. And I'm like,
we'll do better next time, maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, just give me a refund or, I'll be fine. And like, yeah, you're not qualified for a refund right now. And I found that so fascinating because I'm like, what does one have to do to be qualified for was there an application process that I missed?
What do you have to do?
I think the delivery guy would have to take whatever you ordered and throw it against your front door. Then maybe you're entitled to a refund.
Qualified.
Like on Uber Eats, prior to me being kicked off, you would just be like, hey, I didn't get this. And they'd be like, okay, take it off. And you're like, all right.
Because they got you, man. It's over.
They literally I spoke to like 4 people who were just like, I can't help you. Like, it's over. I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
fine. I
you
just ate it.
lose.
I just
We
ate
don't
it.
need your business.
Yeah, just ate it.
Yeah, and then you
It's-
ordered. You ordered from them again. Was there any repercussion? Did you stop using them?
I have not ordered from them again, but it's not because
Not enough
just,
time has passed.
Right.
it just hasn't happened.
It's not the weekend yet.
Yeah, so they didn't burn any bridge by telling you go fuck yourself.
Probably not.
Okay,
Probably not.
that's good.
Damn. I've done it, but not. It's like when neither of us feels like going out and actually getting it.
Right. So what's better, Uber Eats or DoorDash? Same thing.
It depends. Sometimes there's coupons on each one. So
All right, you go back and forth.
yeah.
Is there a third one I'm not thinking of, or is it just those two?
Yeah, Grubhub is like coming up again. I start to see a lot more ads for them for Grubhub, and I think there's one more I can't think of right now. Yeah, I don't know, but Janine's right. Like we order from this one place by us, and I didn't even know it was happening, but it was like order one get one free. So we got like 3 things, and like 6 things showed up, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, how does this even happen?" We had like all this extra food. I was like, "All right, we got food for the week."
That's nice.
But see, I will pay for convenience. I am a sucker for convenience.
Sure. Who, absolutely.
When it's cold and rainy and you just don't want to go out, and it's like $18. All right, fine. Like, gives a shit.
Yeah, sometimes it's worth it.
I think
fuck
so.
The 2 words, fuck it. Those are the 2 words that get you out of a lot of stuff.
Okay,
Instacart.
Instacart. Let's
There you
talk
go.
about this for a second.
Oh, I have a story about that.
I actually did this. So I wanted to get, it's not important. I wanted to get this item. I couldn't fucking find it anywhere. And I needed a lot of it. And
Was it a marital aid?
no, it wasn't a marital aid. It was Manhattan Special. It's not going to make any sense, but I wanted to get the big bottles of Manhattan Special like we used to have when we grew up. They don't make it anymore. They make them in these small little bottles. That's not really a gift for anybody. I was going to give Manhattan Special as a gift to some people, right? And then they had it at this one grocery store by us, this grocery chain, and I was like, all right, I'll order it that way. And when I Googled it, I found it came up on Instacart, and it was like, we'll order it, we'll get it for you and deliver it. I'm like, all right, 15 bottles of this thing is really fucking heavy. They're gonna deliver it to my house for nothing. I was like, okay. And then it was like, yeah, do you want other items? And I'm like, let's get some steaks and we'll get some ravioli for the bar. So I put a whole fucking order together. I absolutely loved the idea of not having to go to a godforsaken supermarket.
I like going to the supermarket.
Oh, I hate it.
I like picking out.
You
what
would.
I want.
How about this? Take our
does that mean?
kids. Take our kids with you.
Oh no, I'm not. But I'm not taking anybody. It's me by myself with the cart, and I just get what I want, and I pick out my stuff.
I hate
Here's
it.
a
go
cart
down
full of
the list.
Snapple and Arizona iced tea.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
it. He's
much.
got to go to
And
one
Aaron's
aisle.
like, what'd you fucking go for?
I go down the list. I get everything on the list, and then I get my things that I like. I get stuff for her, stuff for the house.
Let me tell
For
you.
me.
Okay, this is fascinating. Stuff for you, stuff for her, and stuff for the house. Like, aren't you the only 2 in the house?
Well, stuff that when I say stuff for her, stuff for me, like extras. Like snacks or
Oh, like a little treat.
treats. Yeah.
Even when I don't have my kids, Janine, I am still lost. I'm the guy who goes around 6 times because I cannot get it together on what is where, and
Of
my
course.
list is all out of order. I hate it.
Well, you're a man. It's okay.
Yeah, I really am. Let me tell you something. My wife, during COVID, she would put the list together of like what we needed to get, and it would all be in order. She'd be like, here's this. And I remember going through the thing and going, this is amazing. She just knows where everything is. It's all, I just took one route and we went one lap around and it was done.
Oh,
When I go by myself, I just go in circles.
I go like this. I jump all over the store.
Horrible
You gotta
at
get
it.
you gotta get the stuff that's not cold first. You gotta get the cereal.
And I don't know
canned
where the
things.
crackers are. Why are they not next to the potato chips? Why is the iced tea in a different aisle from
Wow.
the soda? It doesn't make any sense to me. I hate it all.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I don't like it. But I'm the only one who goes, so.
But this Instacart thing, and then I didn't realize, I thought it was kind of like Target, where Target puts the order together for you. With Instacart, it's literally some Uber driver.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go in and go, and then because I got a text from the guy, he's like, "You want this steak instead of that steak?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?"
How did you get my number, and why are you shopping for me?
Yeah, and they'll ask you, and they'll be, and so I by the way, I ordered for this one particular item of 15 things. As soon as the order went through, it's like, "We may not have this. Would you like this instead?" And I was like, "The whole fucking thing is for not." But I still, and sure, the guy left the groceries right on my doorstep, and I was like, I don't know, I can get used to this. Like, this is really
Wasn't there
nice.
a thing that they were coming out with, like in the metaverse or something, where you could walk up and down the aisle and pick out whatever the hell you want?
I saw that too.
I mean, why would you do that if you could not do that?
So you don't have to be around people.
No, I get that, but
Humans.
isn't it way easier? Like, if you're not into going to the store and picking out whatever you want, the other option is just clicking on checking a box, right? Why would you want to go through an empty store and pick out stuff?
Dude, nothing beats this. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No,
if you're not the person who goes to the store and picks out the thing physically, why would you want to pick out the thing virtually?
No, that's
instead of just clicking a box.
We all know what we're here for in this virtual world. To just bang somebody we can't get in real life. That's really all we're looking for.
That's the next step in human evolution.
That's about it.
That's it.
That's
the goal.
I want to bang Leah Remini. My wife apparently wants to bang Jeremy Renner, and that's what we're waiting for.
But
I was just gonna ask her what her mom texted. Son of a bitch. We'll never get it back. Newsmax was dropped by AT&T. You're up to date, and we didn't get to the catastrophic event. Maybe we'll save it.
Oh no! How this will affect your weekend, and all that and more coming up.
What in your medicine cabinet could be killing you tonight at 11?
Right. What are we talking about here? So when is this happening? In 2 years?
Nah, I don't know. You really want to do it, or you don't want to save it? Let's save it.
No, come on.
Man, we don't have time. It's late.
Well, you have time. What's this catastrophic event?
You're not gonna like it.
Come on. I'm gonna be thinking about it for the next 2 days.
Okay, so I mean, this is come on. The fucking where is it? Okay. We talked about the World Economic Forum. This is where all the rich people get together in Davos with the hookers.
Well, all I know is that the doomsday clock, they moved it another 10 seconds closer.
Did they?
Yeah.
Nobody
so now we're 90 seconds to midnight. It was 100 seconds. Which I don't know what the fuck any of that means, but apparently we're closer to doomsday. It's like, what is that?
Which midnight?
Who decides it? And where the fuck is this clock? And what does the 10 seconds mean? I don't know.
Anyway, at the World Economic Forum, again, now I take all this with a grain of salt because these are just old people just getting hookers.
Right.
They're saying they're saying that they're warning of a global catastrophic cyber event in the very near future.
Cyber event?
Yeah.
The hell? If it's cyber, then who gives a shit?
World Economic Forum Managing Director Jeremy Jurgen said during a presentation, the most striking finding that we've found is that 93% of cyber leaders and 86% of cyber business leaders believe that the geopolitical instability makes a catastrophic cyber event likely in the next 2 years. This far exceeds anything that we've seen in previous surveys.
Oh, so my guess is that some kind of cyber hacking or financial crash or something like that is going to happen.
Could be the electric system, the subways, the financial.
Yeah, but that's all backup. That's all backed up by like electrical systems. Are not 100% cyber, right? There's backups for all that shit in there.
They're the ones backing it up.
Exactly.
You don't even
back it up. What?
I don't know, but
you don't even know what a backup is. Do you? No, I don't. Well,
yeah, I mean, it could be
the ones backing it up.
It could be anything.
It could be anything. But if it's a cyber thing, that means some sort of maybe it's an economic crash or some kind of thing.
Listen,
Maybe
it could be they get into the old nuclear codes and fucking launch something out of whatever and take out a fucking city. You don't know.
Yeah, well, that's. I could see how that could be a problem. So then,
Could be
why
anything.
call it a cyber event? Call it a fucking nuclear event.
Well, because I mean, it
If
could not be that.
If everything that goes wrong only in the cyber world, then it's a cyber event. But if it affects like
No, that's
your
not
lights
true.
in your house, then you call it an actual, a real world event.
No, if there's a blackout caused by a cyber attack, that's a cyber event. What if they
Yeah, but
hack
calling
into
it
the? No, I'll give you a scenario. What if they hack into the FAA and they turn 2 planes into each other? That's a cyber attack.
That's an air attack. Yeah, but cyber event makes it seem like it's all happening in cyberspace.
It doesn't mean it has to happen in the metaverse.
I know it doesn't.
Attack.
But it makes it seem like that. Like if it launched, let's say a cyber attack launched a nuclear bomb, then that would be a nuclear attack as well. It's not just a cyber attack.
Well,
Makes it seem like everything bad is going on in the internet, and that's it.
What if they erase everybody's bank account? We literally do not know how much.
Be in a lot of problems.
That's a cyber attack, though. That's real world consequences. You can't get money.
I hear you. Oh, I got you. But you see what my point is? Like if something explodes,
I see what you're saying. If it was an explosion,
attack,
that would supersede the cyber part of it.
I feel like
is what you're saying.
Right. I'm not naive. Paige called me naive. I'm not naive to the fact that cyber isn't important. I know it runs the world.
I know, but I want to be on Paige's side.
But calling it cyber attack kind of doesn't really sell the severity of it.
See, and I think that's where all the next big major terrorist attacks are coming from. I don't think anybody's flying a plane into a building anymore.
Right. Well, I know. No, it's a lot. So then if they know this is coming, or if they can predict in some way, 2 years from now, we're going to get screwed on this, can't they better prepare for it?
I'll give you one word why they cannot. You ready?
Ducks.
Hookers.
Oh, hookers.
Because they go, we found the problem, and then just before they get to solving it, they go back to the hotel and get some hookers.
The hookers thing?
Hookers are
the oldest profession, bringing down the newest technology.
Slowing down the progress.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Cyber attack's big, and it's a huge problem, and if that happens, it's a son of a bitch. My point is, cyber just makes it seem like it's not as realistic as, you know what I mean? Just makes it like internet attack. It just sounds not as important.
Hey, would you blow me? Made me feel insecure for the first time in my life about not having a landline. Basically saying if there was a cyber attack, 14 people in the world with landlines would be calling each other like, what the fuck just happened?
Do you guys feel that?
What's going on?
You know what's funny? I have a landline. We have a landline in this house, but we do not have a phone connected to it.
I haven't had a landline in 11 years.
Yeah, no, we definitely have it. But yeah, no, the last phone we had, the last physical landline phone was a Darth Vader phone. It was shaped like Darth Vader, and when it rang, it played his theme song.
You are the worst.
That was the last one we had, and we got rid of that.
You are the worst.
No, I know cyber attacks are bad. I get it. I understand. It just makes it sound not as bad as nuclear attack, or it's just I understand. It's huge, but again, they should have if they know it's coming. Why can't we prepare for it? Put in fail safes. Put in the people. Why aren't our people smarter than the attackers? That's what I'm saying.
There's just so many attackers out there. I don't know if they can.
You got to be able to. We have a lot of good people are on the smart side. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot of scientists and people that are on the good side.
Yeah.
Get them to work on solving this problem.
I just feel like the next nuclear attack will be because of a cyber attack.
Oh, absolutely. It's not going to be someone running up to a switch. It's going to be, big James Bond type thing, and he hits a button. No.
By the way, did you see this? Olympus is falling, and then with Gerard Butler, and he's the Secret Service guy, and he saves the president.
That's an old movie, right?
It's an old movie, yeah.
Yeah.
they made a sequel, I guess. I don't know if it was the second or the third. I don't even know, but it was called London Falling.
Okay.
And it was like just the same shit over and over.
Oh no, another fallen thing.
Oh, dude, I watched it last night and I was like, I mean, it was like the president goes to London for a funeral. Turns out that literally half of the London security police department turned and were terrorists and they couldn't trust it. I mean, it was so fucking far-fetched and stupid. But I found myself like enjoying it because
oh my god.
Yeah. I was just like when I was younger, when I was like in my teens, if it wasn't an indie movie, I thought it was disgusting. And then you would look at these big action movies and you'd be like, that's so fucking stupid. How mindless do you have to be to like that shit? And now that I'm 40, I watched it last night and I was like, it was unbelievable. Like, it was so dumb, but I fucking liked it. It was great.
When the thing exploded, oh my god, I was saying.
Oh.
Last night I ended up watching both episodes of the new show that's out. What the hell is it called?
MILF Manor.
Right. No. The new show with the Last of Us. It's on HBO.
Okay. I got nothing.
It's a brand new show. It's only 2 episodes in. It's a post-apocalyptic kind of show. It's about like a disease takes over the world and that kind of thing.
Too soon.
And it was based on a video game of the same name. And there's the story that goes with it, and it's based on that. But it's really good. It's I forget the guy's name.
Gerard Butler.
He plays the Mandalorian. I forget his name. Pedro Pascal.
Gerard Depardieu.
Yeah, exactly. But it's very good. It's only 2 episodes in. The first episode's like an hour and a half. Second one's 50 minutes, and it's really cool.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us.
I don't know if I could commit.
Oh, it's good.
I'm gonna let you watch 3 or 4 more. How many episodes? You don't know.
There's only I don't know how long it's gonna go, but there are 2 episodes in, and the first 2 episodes are you'd like it. I think you'd get right into.
Really?
The first scene, you're like, oh damn it.
Is there a naked MILF?
Is there a what?
A naked MILF?
No.
See, I don't know then.
No. It's the one HBO show that doesn't have any nudity.
See, that's a problem. You can't. That's not your brand, HBO.
Right.
Stick with what works. You know what made me feel old the other day? I have to stop pausing this because we really have to go. Fucking Dawson's Creek turned 25.
You know, I never watched a single episode of that.
No?
Nope. I had no interest. I could not get involved.
You're crazy. We were all talking about it. Where were you?
Next room. I was in the bathroom going, I can't stand. I can't go back out there with this bullshit.
Maybe the greatest show that I like latched onto for the first 6 episodes and then never watched in in the first couple episodes, the girl next door is fucking Katie Holmes and super hot. Then Pacey's like about to bang his teacher. Then Dawson's mom's like cheating on like her husband. Like every hot scenario you could possibly think of is all in one show. I was like, this is amazing. And then he actually banged the teacher, which is crazy.
That is crazy. Was it his creek?
No, I don't know why they called it that.
He didn't own the creek?
His name was Dawson and they lived near a creek. Dumb fucking name for a show.
That's stupid.
Yeah. And then it went on for like 7 more seasons. I only watched the first 6 episodes. Once he banged the teacher and then she left the school in embarrassment. I'm like, there's no point to watch this.
He slapped the money on the table and went, I'm out.
That's it. Slapped the money, exactly.
Done.
All right, that's it for us. Don't forget to join up in the member area. Link below. Link at anthonyonair.com. Become a member, support the show for as low as $2.99. There's plenty of jokes in here that Frank made tonight that cost way more than $2.99. So
the team of writers alone we got to pay for.
It's ridiculous.
Show me potato salad.
We'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.